2013 is upon us, and still much attention is focused on what's going to happen regarding the fiscal cliff. My guest is David Templeton with Adage Financial Consultants in Little Rock, Arkansas. David, the fiscal cliff, nobody seems to know what's going to happen, if it's going to happen, and when it's going to happen. What are your thoughts on this right now?
Well, I'm not sure if anybody's not sure when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen. I feel pretty confident it's going to happen because all of these extensions that we've been dealing with for the last 5 or 6 years, they end on the end of this year. And if nothing happens, then we fall off the fiscal cliff. It appears that we're going back to the same rhetoric we've been doing before, listening to these bickering politicians after the presidential election. The House and the Congress, the House and Senate are, still not agreeing on anything with the president. It's a very big indication that we're probably just going to fall off the fiscal cliff. And hopefully, most people are starting to think that might be the best thing we need to do because we cannot keep on raising this country's debt and kicking the can down the road to solve the problems that we have in this country.
For people like your clients or retirees in general, talk about if nothing is done and the tax rates increase and then we slowly start cutting spending in certain ways, what does that mean for people like your clients?
Well, it's very simple. A lot of my clients now are at or even are in retirement, getting income from retirement. Their investment income is going to be taxed at a higher rate. That means their take-home pay is going to be substantially less. It also means that there's no provisions for the cost of living increases that we've endured. That's continually to go up. Food prices are going out of sight. Gasoline prices are still high. Energy costs are still high. We're basically giving them a pay decrease by their income tax increases.
Mm-hmm. And so, regarding people's financial portfolios and their retirement, assets, we sense a lot of people now are really looking towards safety, in a lot of ways, because of even though the markets are up from their low point back in 2008, 2009, they're still pretty volatile, right?
Extremely volatile, and most people are kind of shocked to know why are they even up. We're seeing, corporations, and it was mentioned. It's kind of ironic to me why all of this was mentioned during the presidential election, but nobody mentioned the fiscal cliff until the day after the presidential election, which has been staring us in the face for the last 3 or 4 years. But now that the election's over, we have 2 months to solve the fiscal cliff problem, or less than 2 months. Now we're approaching 3 weeks, and my practice has changed for the last 13 years into nothing but a safe money manager. We can boldly say that in the last 13 years we have not had one single client lose 1 penny in the market or any of their accounts, even though we're still tied to the stock market, and they do make substantial gains when the market does increase. However, we got them protected to where they never can lose any of their principal in years if the markets go down. So yes, safety is imperative. The problem is, what if we never make any more gains in the market? We have countries like Japan that's been 27 years now and hadn't had gains in the market. The last 13 years, the average annual compounded return for the S&P 500 has been 0.3%, 0.3%. How can you keep pace with inflation with that unless you position your money in a portfolio to where you're never going to experience any more down years and take the down years out of the equation? You're looking at a 7 or 8% return. So safety is completely imperative.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people typically, when they think of safety, they're thinking of like CDs and stuff like that, but the interest rates are so low, it doesn't keep up with inflation. What's the, right now for safety and then growth with no downside, what's the best option you typically talk about?
Typically, we recommend highly rated companies that offer basically a private pension fund where a person can purchase an annuity contract that's tied to the market, an equity index annuity contract, where they're participating in the market without risking a penny of their principal. If the market goes up in value, they capture the gain of that. They lock in their gain. They start over the next contract year. And if the market goes down, they get a 0% rate of return. But on top of that, we're also able to enable them to get a guaranteed lifetime income stream to where we're able to guarantee our clients a fixed guaranteed amount of income regardless of what the market does. and we can even pay them income for the rest of their life, even if they run out of money. And I have seen a substantial amount of clients in the last 2 or 3 years that come in with a $300,000 or $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 portfolio that's embarrassed to tell me that they only have $50,000 left, and they don't even know if it's worth seeing me. And I'm like, do you want to just throw away the rest of the $50,000, or you want to try to grow that and have substantial income that you can't outlive? So people are scared. They got their money sitting in CDs. They're more reluctant to move their money out of there when they're making nothing, basically, on CDs. The Federal Reserve rate loans to banks is 0.1% annually right now. So just how much can a CD pay you? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people aren't aware of the options where you can have that high level of safety, 100% guarantee, with a good, steady income return anywhere in the range of 6, 7, 8% guaranteed. Or more if the market performs better.
All right, well, David, as always, great information. We appreciate your insight, and thanks for being with us today.
Sure, Scott, anytime.
David Templeton is my guest with Adage Financial Consultants in Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah, you're watching Annuity News Now.